Attention, small species of the galactic community. I'm Keeper Zilnax of the Preservation Archives. I address you today with urgent information. Information that may save your civilization. You hold in your appendages the guide. The most downloaded survival document in 47 star systems. It contains 2 rules. Only 2. But these rules have prevented 17 extinction events in the last decade alone. Rule 1. Never provoke a human. Rule 2. Refer back to Rule 1. Simple, yes? The Kralathi thought so too. The Kralathi were a proud warrior species. 6 arms, natural armor plating, venom sacs. They encountered humanity at a trade station near the Cygnus border. A human merchant, a female named Dakota Reynolds, was selling what humans call coffee beans. The Kralathi commander found this amusing. He knocked the container from her hands. Beans scattered across the floor. He laughed. His warriors laughed. Dakota Reynolds did not laugh. She looked at the spilled beans, looked at the Kralathi commander, and spoke one word. Really? The commander raised his primary combat arm, moved to strike her. What happened next lasted 4 seconds. Dakota caught his arm mid-swing, used his momentum against him, flipped a 600-pound armored warrior over her shoulder. He crashed into the deck plating. Before his warriors could react, she had retrieved a small device from her pocket, a communication pad. She pressed one button. Station security? Yeah, someone just assaulted me and destroyed my merchandise. I'm pressing charges, full legal proceedings. I want compensation, assault penalties, and a formal apology filed with their homeworld embassy. The Kralathi were banned from 73 trade stations. Their diplomatic corps spent 4 months apologizing. Their economy suffered, all because one warrior thought a small human wouldn't fight back. He was correct. She didn't fight. She did something worse. She used their own laws against them. This is why the guide exists. Humans are impossible to provoke safely, not because they always fight, but because you never know which response you'll trigger. Violence, legal warfare, economic sanctions, psychological warfare, creative revenge that haunts you for years. The uncertainty is what makes them dangerous. I've collected stories from across the galaxy, testimonies from species who learned these lessons the hard way. Some survived, some did not. All wish they had read the guide first. You will hear about the Pixith traders who stole from a human ship, the Corvani refugees who earned humanity's eternal protection, the Dravok Armada who learned why Rule 2 exists. Each story teaches the same lesson. Humans are contradiction incarnate. They are gentle and kind. They rescue injured animals. They cry at fictional stories. They apologize to furniture when they bump into it, but provoke them, cross that invisible line. You won't see them coming, and you'll never forget what happens next. Welcome to Small Species Survival Guide. Read carefully. Your civilization depends on it. Let me explain humans. The Galactic Council first encountered them 60 years ago. Initial assessments were optimistic. Humans appeared average. No natural armor, no venom, no telepathy. They seemed fragile, easily categorized. Ambassador Threnix of the Council Science Division said, "They are primates who achieved space travel through sheer stubbornness. Harmless." Ambassador Threnix now teaches a mandatory course called Human Behavioral Analysis and Survival Strategies. Attendance is required for all diplomatic staff. What changed? The Council learned that humans are evolutionary contradictions. They are persistence hunters who never stop chasing prey, pack animals who form unbreakable bonds, tool users who see weapons in everything, pattern recognition specialists who plan 17 steps ahead. They also cry at elderly couples holding hands. They adopt alien species as pets. They risk their lives to save strangers. They apologize when they're not at fault. This duality confuses most species. The Zenthari hierarchy attempted first contact with military aggression. Standard procedure for them: show strength, establish dominance, accept submission. Humans responded with diplomacy, offered trade agreements, shared technology. The Zenthari interpreted this as weakness. They attacked a human colony world. Humans evacuated civilians first. Then they responded. Not with rage, with calculated precision. They didn't destroy the Zenthari fleet. They disabled it, captured every ship, returned them with a message. We could have killed you. We chose not to. Next time, we won't choose mercy. The Zenthari are now humanity's staunchest allies. This is why small species study humans obsessively. We lack the strength to oppose them. We lack the resources to impress them. Our survival depends on understanding them, on reading the warning signs, on knowing when to step back. I became an expert by accident. My species, the Cautionary, are 3 feet tall. We have delicate exoskeletons. We evolved on a low-gravity world. By galactic standards, we are prey. Weak, insignificant. I was assigned to a human embassy as a cultural liaison. My superiors considered it a safe posting. Humans had reputation for protecting smaller species. I would observe, take notes, file reports. I have filed 4,000 reports. I have witnessed humans befriend species that other civilizations exterminated. I've watched them negotiate peace treaties in 72 hours that took other species decades. I've seen them turn predatory species into protective allies. I've also witnessed what happens when you provoke them. The guide is my life's work. Each rule is written in the blood of civilizations who learned too late. Each example is verified by multiple sources. Each warning is given with genuine concern for your survival. Small species face unique challenges. We cannot win through strength. We must win through understanding, through diplomacy, through knowing which battles to avoid. Humans respect intelligence. They respect courage. They respect honesty. But provoke them, threaten those they protect, break the rules of civilized interaction. You become a cautionary tale. Let me show you examples. The Pixith Collective are merchants, skilled traders. They stand 1 foot tall. They have 8 manipulator tentacles, perfect for sleight-of-hand operations. Translation: they're thieves. They encountered human trader James O'Sullivan at the Meridian Exchange Station. O'Sullivan transported rare minerals, valuable cargo. The Pixith saw an opportunity. They were subtle, professional. They had stolen from 17 other species without consequences. While O'Sullivan negotiated with station officials, 3 Pixith operatives infiltrated his cargo bay. They took exactly 11% of his shipment, not enough to notice immediately. Standard Pixith protocol. O'Sullivan noticed within 4 minutes. He didn't alert security, didn't file reports. He simply walked to the Pixith merchant stalls in the lower markets, found their leader, a clever operator named Skitch, and smiled. "I'm missing some cargo," O'Sullivan said. "I wonder where it went." Skitch played innocent. "Many thieves on this station. Perhaps check security footage?" O'Sullivan's smile widened. "Oh, I did. Interesting footage. Want to see?" He showed Skitch the video. 3 Pixith, clear images, identifiable features. Skitch calculated quickly. Humans typically went to authorities, filed complaints, long legal processes. The Pixith would disappear long before trials concluded. "We can negotiate compensation," Skitch offered. "No," O'Sullivan said. "Here's what happens next. You return my cargo, all of it. Plus interest, let's say 20%, and you work for me for 3 months, unpaid. Consider it education." Skitch laughed. "A mistake." "Or what? You'll fight us? Report us? We'll be gone before—" O'Sullivan interrupted. "I'm a certified accountant. I audit trade systems. I've already identified 47 instances of Pixith theft across this station in the last year. I have evidence. Names, footage, transaction records. One button press sends everything to Galactic Trade Authority. They'll freeze every Pixith account in this sector. Blacklist your entire collective. Silence. Or, O'Sullivan continued, you work for me. Learn legitimate trading. I teach you human business practices. You keep your reputation. Maybe even improve it. Skitch stared at him. This human had done in 4 minutes what took most species weeks. He had anticipated their escape plans, prepared countermeasures, offered a solution that looked like mercy but was actually a trap. No, not a trap, an opportunity. The Pixith worked for O'Sullivan for 3 months. They learned human negotiation tactics, contract law, ethical trading practices. When the term ended, O'Sullivan hired them permanently. Fair wages, profit sharing, legal operations. The Pixith Collective now runs the most successful trading company in 6 systems. They credit O'Sullivan with saving them from extinction by blacklist. Skitch updates the guide regularly. His favorite addition, humans don't always choose violence. Sometimes they choose complete economic destruction. Both options are terrifying. This is the first lesson. Humans have infinite response options. You never know which one they'll select. Violence is often the kindest choice. The second lesson is more important. The Minari are herbivores. Peaceful. They stand 2 feet tall. They have soft fur and large eyes. Every predatory species in the galaxy wants to eat them or enslave them. The Corvani marauders decided to do both. The Corvani are apex predators, 8 feet tall, natural weapons, pack hunters. They discovered a Minari colony on the forest moon of Talaxis IV. They saw prey, resources, entertainment. They attacked at dawn. The Minari had no defenses, no weapons. They ran, they hid, they died. Within hours, the Corvani had captured 300 Minari. They prepared holding pens, discussed which ones to eat first. Then Dr. Lisa Park arrived. Park was a xenobotanist. She studied alien plant life. She had been documenting flora on Talaxis IV for 6 weeks. She heard the screams, saw the smoke, found a group of Minari children hiding in a cave entrance. She was one human, unarmed, 5 feet tall. The Minari begged her to hide, to run, to save herself. Park walked toward the Corvani camp instead. She found the marauder leader, a massive warrior named Krauth. He was organizing his captives. Park stepped into the clearing. 30 Corvani warriors surrounded her. She didn't flinch. "Release them," Park said. Krauth laughed. "Little human. Soft flesh. You want to fight?" "No," Park said. "I want to give you a choice. Release them and leave, or stay and regret it." The Corvani laughed harder. Krauth moved toward her. "What will you do? Bite me?" Park pulled out her communication device. "I'll call my friends." She pressed one button. "This is Dr. Park. Emergency code Theta 7. Endangered species under attack. Requesting immediate intervention. Authorization, Xenocide Prevention Protocol." Krauth had no idea what that meant. He raised his claws. 20 minutes later, the human ship Defiant dropped out of orbit. Not a military vessel, a research vessel, but it carried 40 humans, scientists, engineers, doctors. They came armed with medical supplies, rescue equipment, and rage. The Corvani suddenly faced humans who had stopped being scientists. The rescue team didn't negotiate. They didn't threaten. They simply started dismantling the Corvani camp. They freed prisoners, provided medical care, documented every injury. Captain Raymond Torres met Krauth face to face. "You attacked a protected species. Under our watch. That's personal." The Corvani tried to fight. Bad decision. Humans who choose violence don't do it halfway. The battle lasted 11 minutes. No humans died. Every Corvani was subdued. None were killed. Humans recorded everything for legal proceedings. The Minari were evacuated, given medical treatment, resettled on a protected world. Dr. Park stayed with them for 3 years, helped them rebuild, taught them defensive strategies. The Corvani learned a lesson that's now in the guide. Provoking a human who's protecting someone else doesn't just make them angry. It makes them unstoppable. They won't stop until you're neutralized, and they'll do it legally, which means permanently. The Minari now have a human protection treaty. No species dares touch them. This brings us to the incident that created Rule 2. The Dravok Armada were conquerors. They had subjugated 40 species. They viewed humans as the next target. Soft, emotional, weak. Fleet Commander Zaxor studied human behavior. He concluded that humans avoided conflict, preferred diplomacy. This was weakness, he believed. He decided to test them. The Dravok attacked a human trade convoy near the Outer Reach, destroyed 3 cargo ships, killed 47 humans, took 12 prisoners, sent a message to Earth: submit or die. Humanity's response arrived in 4 words. We tried diplomacy. What followed became known as the 72-hour war, though war is generous. Systematic dismantling is more accurate. Humans didn't send their entire fleet. They sent 3 ships, the Relentless, the Unbroken, the Last Warning. Each ship carried 100 humans, 300 total against the Dravok Armada's 10,000 warriors. The Dravok thought they had numerical advantage. They were wrong. Humans fight differently. They use psychology, misdirection, terror. They don't just win battles. They break enemy morale so completely that resistance becomes unthinkable. First, humans rescued their prisoners. They infiltrated the Dravok flagship without firing a shot. Used stealth technology the Dravok couldn't detect. Extracted all 12 captives. Left behind a message in the commander's personal quarters. We were here. You weren't safe. Think about that. Zaxor panicked. If humans could reach his quarters, they could reach him. His crew lost confidence. Second, humans started jamming Dravok communications. But selectively, they let through messages that contained fear, confusion, doubt. They blocked messages containing orders or reassurance. The Dravok fleet fell into chaos. Third, humans didn't destroy Dravok ships. They disabled them. Precision strikes to weapons systems, engines, life support backups. Each ship became a floating prison, helpless, waiting. Commander Zaxor sent a surrender offer after 18 hours. Humans ignored it. They continued the operation. By hour 48, the entire Dravok Armada was disabled. Not destroyed. Disabled. Then Captain Elena Rodriguez opened a channel to Zaxor. Her message was broadcast to every ship in the Armada, every species monitoring the sector. Everyone. You killed 47 humans. You thought we were weak. You were wrong. We could destroy you right now, every ship, every warrior. We have the capability, but we won't. We're better than that. Instead, you'll float here, helpless, dependent on our mercy for life support, food, water. You'll think about what you did, and when we're ready, we'll tow you back to your homeworld. We'll present you to your people as the failures you are. They'll remember, everyone will remember. This is what happens when you provoke humans. Not death. Something worse. Complete humiliation. The Dravok were towed home 72 hours after the attack began. The journey took 3 weeks. 3 weeks floating in disabled ships, dependent on human mercy, fed by human supplies, saved by the species they tried to exterminate. Their government collapsed, their military disbanded. They became a cautionary tale. Rule 2 was added to the guide the next day. Refer back to Rule 1, always. The Dravok incident changed everything. The Galactic Council held emergency sessions. 7,000 species sent representatives, all discussing one topic: how to interact with humans safely. Small species adopted the guide as mandatory reading. Schools taught it. Parents drilled it into children. Traders memorized it. Diplomats quoted it. Breaking rule. One became the worst insult you could give another species. It meant you called them suicidally stupid. Human reputation shifted. They were no longer seen as newcomers. Primitive apes who got lucky. They became known as the equalizers, the species that protected the weak, the allies who never abandoned you, but also the species you never, ever provoked. The Council issued official guidelines, training modules, warning systems. New protocols appeared in every station, outpost, and diplomatic facility. Some warnings are comedic, others are deadly serious. All are necessary. Examples from the official council: Human Interaction Manual. Never interrupt a human during their morning coffee consumption. They are not fully conscious and may react with disproportionate hostility. If a human calls you buddy in a flat tone, you have 7 seconds to apologize before consequences occur. Never assume a human is unarmed. They see weapons in everything: furniture, eating utensils, their own limbs. Exercise caution. If a human becomes very quiet after being loud, retreat immediately. This indicates they have moved from emotional response to calculated planning. Nothing good follows. Humans protect their social units with terrifying dedication. Never threaten a human's family, friends, crew, or adopted alien companions. Death is preferable to the consequences. The Cautionary Diplomatic Academy added a 6-month course on human behavior. I teach it personally. Students learn facial expressions, vocal tones, body language, cultural variations. We study historical incidents, successful negotiations, failed provocations. My favorite lesson is the human laugh analysis. We examine 17 types of human laughter. 13 are friendly. 4 are warnings. Students must identify which is which. Lives depend on this skill. Trade protocols changed too. Human merchants receive special status. Premium docking bays, priority service, expedited customs. Not because humans demanded it. Because stations learned that happy humans mean profitable, peaceful trade. Unhappy humans mean economic warfare that ruins everyone. Security forces installed human mood detection systems, advanced AI that monitors human emotional states. Alerts trigger when humans shift from peaceful to dangerous. Gives security time to intervene, to separate parties, to prevent incidents. It works 70% of the time. The other 30%, human emotional shifts are too fast, too unpredictable. No AI can track them accurately. One station commander told me, humans are the only species where "have a nice day" can be either genuine kindness or a death threat. Context is everything. We're still figuring out the context. Small species learned the most important lesson. Humans don't want to be feared. They want to be understood, respected, treated fairly. Give them that, you gain the most loyal allies in the galaxy. But provoke them? Rule 1 exists for a reason. Let me explain what that reason truly means. I want to clarify something crucial about humans, something often misunderstood. They are not monsters. The stories I've shared, the Kralathi, the Pixith, the Corvani, the Dravok, these show human responses to provocation, to injustice, to cruelty. But this is not their default state. Most humans will never hurt you. Most humans are kind, gentle. They help strangers without expecting reward. They feel guilt over small mistakes. They apologize to inanimate objects. They form emotional bonds with creatures that can't speak their language. I've witnessed this personally countless times. My first week at the Human Embassy, I dropped a data tablet. It shattered. I panicked. Kixani are poor. Replacing technology takes months of savings. I prepared apologies, expected punishment. Ambassador Williams, a large human who intimidated me greatly, picked up the pieces. He said, "Don't worry about it. Equipment breaks. Are you okay? Did you cut yourself?" He was concerned for me, not the expensive device. Me. He replaced the tablet from embassy funds, told me mistakes happen, asked if I needed training on human equipment, offered to help me adjust to the station. That moment changed my perception forever. I've seen humans cry at sad stories about species they've never met. I've watched them risk their lives rescuing animals trapped in floods. I've observed them share food with hungry aliens. They give without expecting return. This is their default state. Kindness, compassion, generosity. So why does the guide exist? Why do we warn species about provoking them? Because humans operate on deep emotional bonds. Loyalty, justice, protection. These drives are hardwired into their psychology. Violate these principles. You trigger something primal, something that evolved over millions of years of survival. They become different, not evil, not cruel, but absolutely dedicated to correcting the wrong, to protecting the innocent, to ensuring you never threaten anyone again. This is why Rule 1 exists. Not because humans are violent, but because human violence is purposeful, calculated, unstoppable once triggered. They don't rage mindlessly. They plan, they execute, they finish what you started. And here's what most species miss. Humans feel guilty about this. After the Dravok incident, Captain Rodriguez filed a personal report. She wrote, "We humiliated them intentionally, broke their spirit. This was necessary, but not enjoyable. I hope we never have to do this again." Humans don't enjoy violence. They endure it as a necessary evil. This makes them more dangerous, not less. They won't lose control, won't make mistakes. They'll do exactly what needs to be done with perfect efficiency. But befriend them. Earn their trust. You gain allies who will defend you until the stars burn out, who will share their resources, their knowledge, their protection, who will treat you as equals regardless of your size, strength, or evolutionary advantages. The Minari can confirm this. So can the Pixith, even the Dravok, who now have a human-sponsored rebuilding program. Humans conquered them, then helped them recover, because humans believe in second chances. This is the final lesson of the guide. The lesson that took me decades to truly understand. Humans are not the enemy. They are not the threat. They are mirrors. They reflect what you give them. Kindness returns kindness. Respect returns respect. Violence returns overwhelming, unstoppable violence. Rule 1 exists to protect you from your own worst decisions, to remind you that the gentle scientist who rescues injured birds is also a descendant of persistence hunters who brought down creatures 10 times their size. Both aspects are real. Both are human. Choose which one you meet. The guide recommends kindness, always kindness, because humans remember kindness forever, and they repay it tenfold. But they also remember cruelty, and they repay that too. Choose wisely. This concludes the current edition of the Small Species Survival Guide. You now understand the core lesson: human moods, human responses, human loyalty. Your survival depends on recognizing which human you're facing: the protector or the provoked, the friend or the equalizer. Most times you'll meet the friend, the helper, the ally who shares their lunch and asks about your day. These interactions are easy, pleasant, mutually beneficial. But if you meet the other human, the provoked one, remember Rule 1. Remember every story in this guide. Remember that you have options: apology, retreat, compensation, all better than escalation. Rule 2 exists because some species think they're exceptions. They think they're strong enough, smart enough, special enough to provoke humans without consequences. They're wrong. Always wrong. every time wrong. This is why Rule 2 simply tells you to reread Rule 1. Because the lesson doesn't change. The warning doesn't become less urgent. The danger doesn't diminish. The guide is updated monthly. New stories, new warnings, new examples of species who learned these lessons. Some learned peacefully, others did not. All contributed to our collective knowledge. I've been collecting these stories for 30 years. I have hundreds more. The merchant who befriended a human and became the richest trader in 5 systems. The warrior species who challenged humans to honorable combat and earned their eternal respect. The diplomats who negotiate with humans successfully by simply being honest. Every story teaches us something. Every interaction adds data. Every friendship proves that humans are worth knowing, worth understanding, worth befriending. I want to know your stories. Which species should appear in the next chapter of the guide? Which human behaviors confuse you? Which warnings should I add? Which successes should I celebrate? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Share your experiences. Add your warnings. This guide belongs to all small species. Your wisdom makes it stronger. If this guide helped you, share it with others. Click the like button to boost its visibility. Subscribe for future updates. The galaxy is large. Many species haven't learned these lessons yet. Your sharing could save civilizations. Remember, humans are not the enemy. Fear is, ignorance is, stupidity is. The guide exists to eliminate all 3. Stay safe out there, small species. Treat humans with respect. Earn their friendship. Never, ever provoke them. And if you forget everything else, remember Rule 1. Actually, forget that. Remember Rule 2. It's more important. Until next time, this is Keeper Zilnax. May your interactions with humans be peaceful and profitable.